Are you ready to invest in yourself today? Welcome to the Wealth Builders Podcast, where investment leader Billy Epperhart teaches you how to build wealth through applied biblical wisdom. Scripture says in Deuteronomy 8:18, "Remember the Lord, your God, for it is He who gives you the ability to produce wealth." At Wealth Builders, our goal is to teach you how to build wealth through applied biblical wisdom in your finances, your business, and your investments. Now, let's join Billy Epperhart.
We just had our previous video where we talked about what's the current economy and state that we're in and where we're going to be in the next 12 to 18 months and what's going to happen from today to then. And so I shared those things. And a couple of things I said on that video just quickly is that we are in a tremendous inflationary time right now. We're also in a high money supply time. And so when we talk about real estate and where is the real estate market going to be, and by the way, I realize that on this video, there can be people watching this video from anywhere in the world. So I'm going to do my best as I talk about these things to talk about real estate across the world. Now, I will say, because of different tax laws and because of different liability laws, sometimes on how we teach on real estate, you have to be able to measure that if you're in another country watching. For those of you that are in the U.S., then some of this will apply directly. Where it doesn't apply, I'll let you know. I'll tell you, you've got to find out what you're looking for in your country. But all over the world, what we're finding is a couple of things. First, we've been in this period of low interest rates. That's all over the world. Now, when I say all over the world, I mean even in countries that are developing countries, the interest rates in those countries have come way down. And so in Western countries, we have some Western countries that actually have negative interest rates. So what that has done, and then we've had this tremendous increase of money supply and housing. So, money supply in the economy, which has pushed up the price of housing. So what we're seeing is, and this is an important distinction, we're seeing a price bubble in real estate, but we're not actually seeing a supply bubble. And what has happened in the last 10 years, because we've come out of the Great Recession, actually real estate, because I'm talking specifically real estate now, real estate, because the supply around the world has been limited. Now, very candidly, most people don't know this. They don't realize that builders around the world, because of what we came out of in the Great Recession, have slowed down their building. So the actual supply of housing has gone tremendously down. And it's only been in the last just year or so where that supply has really started to kick up. It's been just short term. So you say, well, Billy, what does that mean? Well, the first thing that it means for this is that I do not believe that real estate, and it's not because I'm kind of a real estate guy, but I don't believe that real estate in itself is going to crash. I do believe that real estate, the houses anywhere in the world, property prices are going to get soft. Or when you say, what does that mean? It means they're going to go down. We're going to see some markets that have been extremely hot that could go down as much as 25%. Now, and I'm saying this in the next 12 to 18 months. Now, you say, well, that's a lot, 25%. But in the Great Recession, we had some markets where prices went down. And by the way, the Great Recession was basically from about 2008 to about 2012. We started coming out in 2012 and 13. So when I say that, we had some markets that decreased in value by 60%. That means if you had a $100,000 house, it went down, and that's US dollar, it went down to 40,000 US dollars. 100,000 to 40,000. That's a 60% decrease. I believe today we're going to see more like, in some of the harder hit markets, more like 25%. But don't get discouraged with that, because for some of you that may be watching this, very candidly, when those prices come down, that's a good time to buy. Now, I'm going to tell you something here that's, I like to say, tongue-in-cheek, kidding, kind of joking, but it's worth the price of the ticket, and that's here. Always remember, when you're looking at investing, I'm talking about real estate today, housing. When you're looking at investing in real estate, don't be overly concerned about the interest rate. You have to be more concerned about the return on the investment. What the interest rate simply means is you're paying more for your money, so your payments are higher. However, what's going up in this inflationary period is also rents. So with rents increasing right now, the increase in rents have been enough to cover any increase that we're going to see and have seen in interest rates. So that's pretty much true anywhere in the world because inflation is all over the world. And so now in your specific location, I'd have to look at it specifically. But what I'm saying is, just because interest rates go up does not mean that automatically that doing real estate or investing in real estate is a bad deal. In fact, I can tell you right now, when prices start getting softer, Billy's going to start buying. So the point that you need to look at is understand what your return on investment is going to be. Now, I have a couple of questions, and so I'm trying to answer the one that says, is it a good time to buy property? I've had international questions that have come in, but another one that in addition to that, they was asking, are there any geographical locations that are good right now for someone to look to purchase property domestically or internationally? So for most of you watching this video, not everybody, but for most of you, you need to learn the markets that you currently live in and look around. Now, for some of you that may be watching and maybe we've been acquainted with each other before, could you look at some international, like I know here in the U.S., people look at the Caribbean. You go to Europe, there's certain coastal areas people like down, especially as you get down towards Spain and Portugal, even down into Italy and those kind of things. And so you just have to be more sophisticated on understanding liability, on understanding taxes, and then also understanding what money is available to be able to purchase those houses unless you're paying cash. So what I want to say to you is I believe the housing market in real estate, for the most part, in most places, is going to have more of a soft landing. I'm not sure about that on the stock market. Right now, I think the stock market is going to go into a 20 to 25% minimum correction, and usually remember that it actually goes from correction is about a 10% drop, and then what we would call recession is 20% or more. So it's going to go somewhere, I believe, in that more recessionary place. Now, I'm not prophesying for those of you that believe in God. I'm just trying to make you aware of what the economic indicators say. And, I believe that you can have the favor of God surround you as a shield, and the Lord can help you. I'm just trying to give you some sense today of where those things are going. So this is on the housing market. So just remember this. There's less housing supply now than there has been. Are you ready for this? You have to go back to the 1930s in the United States to find the new housing supply as low as it is. So in the United States, it's going to be that housing, lack of housing, or the low housing supply that'll give us more of a soft landing in the housing market. So, hey, I trust these financial videos are helping you. I'm trying to speak today to the current times. Later, I'll do some teaching on how you do stuff and how you think about stuff when it comes to investing. And I'll see you right back here on another video.
We hope you learned something of lasting value today from this Wealth Builders podcast. If you'd like any tools, teachings, or resources mentioned in the podcast, you'll find them online at wealthbuilders.org. Wealth Builders exists to teach you how to build wealth through applied biblical wisdom in your finances, your business, and your investments. Wealth Builders is a nonprofit organization. We depend on your donations to keep this podcast running. Please consider donating to us on wealthbuilders.org.